Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Undergroundsvoice ao vivo. Tenho a honra de conhecer uma das grandes bandas europeias do momento, Carach Angren. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to Portugal. Welcome back to Porto. You've been here 3 times last year. One in Vagos Metal Fest and two dates with Rotting Christ.
Thank you. Yeah, we almost live here. I can almost start renting a house. And,
Fortunately for us. Why do you come here so many times? That's not a bad thing.
Well, I mean, it sounds a bit boring, my answer, but we have very good booking agency that is booking our tours, and fortunately Portugal is a place that's always on the route. But what I see is that we have really dedicated fans here. I saw in Vagos and also on the tour at Rolling Christ last year. So for me, it's really cool to come back and meet all the cool fans here again.
Yeah. It's you guys have started a huge tour, almost 40 dates.
Yeah.
Small clubs, big festivals. How's been this tour so far, and what can you expect for the next dates?
Well, I think we have 1% done. It's the longest we have ever embarked on.
Yeah.
And what is cool is that it's kind of original, because a lot of bands don't tour in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's like a new path we are taking, and also like an adventure. I like it a lot, and so what we have is like we have for the club shows we have a compact setup.
Yeah.
So it's more intimate, and when the festivals are there like Hellfest, it's a different approach. So for us it's really cool to do both of that, and so far the shows have been really cool. Like yesterday we were in Madrid, we have some shows in Germany and France, and they have been really cool, and the people coming there are really into Carach Angren, so it's really cool to finally headline and make a blast every day.
You guys are already a big band, but do you think this huge tour will help Carach Angren to the height status band?
I hope so. I mean, it's always difficult to say what's a big band or small band.
Yeah.
And especially for me to reflect on that ourselves. We just love doing our thing and try out new things all the time. So yeah, it's a blessing that we can do this kind of stuff and do such a big tour. And, have great support bands on this bill.
Yeah,
so hopefully it will add to our energy. Yeah.
You guys have been played with some live musicians, but the lineup, the official lineup, is still the same since the beginning.
Yeah.
How can you do it? It's so rare.
I don't know. It just happened. No.
Yeah.
The thing is like, we have my brother Namtar, who's in my family, of course, and Sergor. We are almost like family. And the thing is that since the beginning, it's the 3 of us. We are very different in a way, so it works together. Like I compose most of the music. Sergor is like this crazy singer, lyricist, actor almost. My brother is the drummer and also into machinery, so that's really a fit. And we have now a very stable live guitar player, we call him Butcher, so we are really happy about that too. But what we've seen throughout the years is that we really have to be careful about that unity, because the bigger a band grows, the more people start to circle around them and give opinions. And sometimes that's really helpful, but sometimes it can also distract you or fuck with your head, and it's very easy to drift away from what's the core of what you try to do. So, and it's not easy almost. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard, but that's part of it. So we try to just keep that integrity. And with live musicians, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
We will never compromise the unity of the band, because that will be, basically the end if one of the 3 of us would leave or that would change. And you see it a lot with other bands, and it becomes a different entity then. So I'm really happy that we have been able to do this for, what is it, 15 years?
15, almost. Yeah. You're already composing a new album, right?
Yeah.
What can you expect about this album?
It has been a long time since I've been writing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to rush it this time, because we've been touring, writing album every 2 years, and now I felt sometimes a bit like, okay, I have all these ideas, but I want it to be really good, and you also have to feel challenged yourself, because the trap is to just make another album. and probably the fans will like it, but I always want to be super excited myself. That's also a level, a bar that we put with every album. And I think it's important because if you lose the spirit and the excitement of composing new album yourself, then you cannot expect fans to like it. So, little darkness. That's why we took the time. Over the last months we have been making really a lot of progress, and it's going to be a little bit of a different direction.
They're all different.
Yeah, they're all different in a way.
Right?
Yeah, and I also want to do that because I can't make another Lamendam. Maybe some fans want that, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a different person from 10 years ago. We all are. So, but we are really excited about what we are bringing. So can't tell more about it, unfortunately. But.
Yeah, the latest album is really solid. It's kind of bizarre, weird, but I love it.
Cool,
it's a great album. I don't know, it's not like metal, it's not symphonic metal, it's kind of mix of everything.
Yeah.
And your Carach Angren is not just a band. You guys are artists, are entertainers, storytellers. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree, and we try a lot of different stuff all the time. Yeah. So, and indeed on the album you have very different things. You have like Charles Francis Colan, who was like this epic song about this actor, this imaginary scene you can see when you listen to the music, and then there are songs like Pitch Black Box, or more like on the beat, more live, and so I feel what you say exactly, like we have all these kind of dimensions where we work, and you see it in a live show too, like we have some crazy stuff going on now. That's not attached to a particular story or album, but in the live situation everything is coming together.
How can you compare this album with the first one, Lamendam? It's really different. You guys are different persons too, the musical scene is different in the same way. How can you compare these two classics?
It's really funny because when we released Lamendam, people were like, "Oh, it's the same. It sounds like this band. It sounds like that band." There was a lot of resistance, and then some years later, we had the second album. It's like, "Oh, Lamendam is better." So as an artist, it's always really. Sometimes it's hard to see. Like it comes in waves. Like sometimes an album is only evaluated in a good way 2 years later. So what you see now is some people say like, "Oh, I wish Lamendam was much better," and this one is not good, and that's okay. But as long as people talk about it, it's cool.
Yeah, that's true.
What for me personally, you can still hear some of the vibe of Lamendam, of course, like the faster songs, and the idea is still there, like the storytelling elements. But you can also hear that we have new elements in there. So. And it's we're always growing.
I see some fans asking for a live album. I can't agree with this idea of a live album because, in my opinion, Carach Angren is a live band. If you want to see what's the band, you need to be in the show. It's really visual. It's really theatrical. Do you agree with them? Do you agree with me? Or both?
I mean, a live album can always be done. I never listen to live albums myself, so I probably agree more with what you say. And it's one thing to see a video or an image of the show, but to actually go to the show, get in the mood, put your jacket there, I don't know, all these things help. It's the same with playing an album. Like now we're all like scrolling, and the world has changed a lot, but the ritual of actually putting a record and sitting down, dimming the lights. I'm a kind of an audiophile myself, I have like this setup and close my eyes and it's all this crazy stuff. But not everyone is like that, but I think it contributes, so especially coming to a show and appreciating the whole thing does something extra to your experience for sure.
And you'll release a solo album soon, right?
I have.
What can you say about that?
What I told you, like I've been composing a lot of music since I came back from the South America tour in December. So I pitch a lot of songs also to other artists. I work with other artists. I orchestrate songs and so. So I had a couple of these more industrial kind of songs, and I had some ideas for vocals, so I was singing them in, more like the idea like it's going to be temporary.
Yeah.
But it sort of started growing on me, and I was like, why don't I release it? So it's like, okay, I'm going to release it, and I'm going to make a real artwork, everything. And then I decided to make a lyric video, and then I even recorded the video clip before I started to. So it's kind of, it grew bigger than I expected or intended it to be. So, but I'm going to release it at the end of July.
Finally, thank you so much for being here. Huge honor to meet you. So last words for the Portuguese fans and Underground's Voice viewers.
Well, thanks a lot, and good luck with the magazine. And yeah, we always love to come back to Portugal, so hope to see you tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Malta, Carach Angren na Underground's Voice. Fiquem atentos, nós voltamos em breve.